Hi, this is Margaret's from Margaret's Crafts. I wanted to make a video using one of the new cartridges. It's called Country Life. The card that I want to make, I want to put a quilt on the front. And on page 65, there's a quilt, block, and thread. Okay, I'm going to cut this out on the Gypsy. And what I do is, when I want to cut something out, I'll go to my mats, and I like to choose the 12 by 24 to set everything up. The cut I want to do is 3 inches. The cut I want to do is 3 inches. So I'll start it off all the way over on my mat, and for a 12 by 12 mat it'll be in this section here. For a 12 by 6 mat, which I have because I have the Create, it's going to be in this bottom left hand corner. So I can just set everything up in there and then move it around and then change back to my correct mat. So the way I have my pages numbered, it's going to be the 4th row, the 8th one over. And to start off with, we're just going to cut the quilt, and then we're going to hit the shift and cut the outer part. Now this is the 4th row, 8th one over is the quilt. Now if you see up here, the quilt came up. Now I'm going to hit my shift and hit the other part. I like to do this and cut everything out at once and then move it around and set it up on my mat. Then I'm going to cut, the next cut that you need is into the layers. The layers, you need the layers and the shift for layers 1, and then layers 2 you need the layers and the shift. So to start off with layers 1, I'm going to take my shift off, I'm going to hit my layers 1, and I'm just going to hit the 4th row, 8th one over. Then I'm going to hit my layer shift and hit the same button. Now I'm going to hit my layers 2, and I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to hit the shift and hit that one. Now I have all my pieces on the mat, but I want to move the pieces around, so I'm going to unlock them. And I'm going to move my pieces so that they're all on my 12 by 6 mat. Now you just push the gray button over here. It'll go back to your mats. Hit your mats. I'm hitting my 12 by 6 mat. And all my pieces are lined up on my 12 by 6 mats. Now all I want to do is line them up so I can cut them all out at one time. And I'm just going to put everything where it'll cut. I'm going to move things around on the mat. So I can get everything, all my pages set up. And then just have everything cut at one time. And that's it. My mat is all set up to cut all my pieces out at one time. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to set my mat up with my colors that I want, and then all you're going to do is, in the basic layers, you're going to hit your cut button. Then you're going to hit your load mat, your cut. Your cut is going to ask you, is everything set okay, which is your blade and your depth. You hit OK, and it's just going to start cutting. So I'm going to set my mat up, cut all my pieces out, and I'll show you when I have all my pieces cut. Okay, here are all the pieces. I even went back in and cut out a shadow. Now I'll show you how to put all the pieces together. Okay, we're going to start off with the back, with the main piece, because it has all these slits in it to show for placement. We're going to start off with our green, and we're going to place it down. Okay, we're going to start off with the green. And this time I'm using the Martha Stewart glue stick. And there's little lines to show you exactly where to place it and where the opening is supposed to be. I'll put the centerpiece in. I always also dry fit the pieces in to know which direction that they're supposed to sit before I put the glue on them, just in case I have them backwards. Then I'm going to put the thread in. And the top and the bottom of the spool. And it's a little bit like putting a piece of a puzzle together. Now I'm going to put the needle in. Now I'm going to put my corners in, and these are the ones that you really have to make for sure you got them in the right direction. So I like to dry fit them in first, then I'll pick them up one by one and glue them down. Okay, and that's your finished die cut. But every quilter knows, quilt isn't done until the quilting is done on it. So then I'm just going to take a gel pen in a coordinating color and just put some stitches in. Just some dash lines. Okay, I'm going to finish this up and put it on a cart, and I'll show you the completed layout. Okay, here's the finished project. What I did was I took a piece of 8.5 by 11.5 cardstock, cut it in half, and got a 8.5 by 5.5 inch cardstock, and just folded it in half to make my card base. Then after I attached my die cut to a piece of white to bring it out, and then another piece of pink, which is the same color pink that's in there. I also took a gel pen and did my stitching marks all around my card base. And then I put it on my card base. I printed out on the computer this verse, "Sisters are like quilts," and I popped it out, if you can see, on just some pop dots for a little added dimension. And then I just put a little bit of jewels, and then on the inside I put just a piece of white cardstock that I sent through the printer with the verse. It starts off with, "Sisters are like quilts, a patchwork of warmth and comfort." And then I can write anything that I want in here, happy birthday or whatever I'd like to have it in there. I got this idea from a YouTube video by Card Crazy 09. Thanks a lot for the idea. Hers was Friends Are Like, and she made actual patchwork. But when I saw the new cartridge had this, I thought I had to make it. That's all for today. Thanks for watching my videos.